You know, I was extremely lucky as a young baseball fan before I started my career as a sports editor to see some of the best seasons or individual seasons in Major League Baseball history, most notably the 1970s. We talk about, the Pirates in '71 led by Clemente, the Big Red Machine, the Oakland A's, the Dodger teams that made three World Series, eventually won in '81, which was remnants of the '70 teams, and of course the Yankees. But as a player that stood out for me for his dedication to baseball, his overall talent, and I'm very happy to say that he influenced a lot of young journalists back in the day to seek out excellence like he did in relation to the sports field. So today, with the aid of the Baseball Hall of Fame, we're talking about Rod Carew, but specifically probably one of the greatest seasons by a player in Major League Baseball history of the modern era. We talk about Otani, but I don't think Otani will ever touch this season for the overall impact. Although Carew never pitched, his defensive and offensive play and his dedication, especially with the Twins before he went to the Angels, is beyond parallel. Now, according to baseballhall.org, an article about Rod Carew, what does it mean to be valuable? This is a story by the great Alex Coffey, one of the key writers. How much value can one player have for the team? Can it be measured? Those sorts of questions are asked every year around our MVP consideration time, and the responses are almost varied. Almost always varied. At the heart of the debate lies a reoccurring question. Should players who aren't on postseason contending teams even be considered for MVP award, no matter how successful they are? Now, past BBWAA voters have shown they are capable of seeing both sides of the argument. On November 16, 1977, they proved that by naming the great Rod Carew the MVP in the American League. Furthermore, George Foster won that year's NL MVP award after coming from the Cincinnati Reds team that also did not win his division. Of course, Foster had the great numbers that year, 52 homers, I think, 149 RBIs. Now, Carew that year flirted with 400. He had a 388 batting average that was the highest in baseball since Ted Williams 20 years before in 1957. He knew he had MVP caliber numbers, but he didn't want to get hopes up at first. Now, I didn't want to be disappointed, so I geared myself not to be disappointed if I didn't get it, he told UPI. I look back at the years where some guys had great years and didn't win it because their team didn't win. Luckily for Carew, his numbers made a case for themselves. The 16 player won the award from a non playoff winning squad, and just a third Twins player. He used his statistics to defy the odds stacked against him. Aside from his baseball leading average, Carew was one on top of the American League leaderboards in hits with 239, runs scored with 128, and triples with 16, to go along with 100 RBIs and 23 steals. Even though his team lost 19 of his last 28 games, Carew batted 441 for those games. He finished off the season by winning his fifth batting title in the past 6 years, raising his career total to six. According to Gene Mauch, who was also a manager for Montreal for a while, he doesn't have to prove anything, said Denton Twins manager Mauch during the summer of '77. All he has to do is retire and wait for the Hall of Fame to call. The call from the Hall would come just a few years later in 1990. But Carew's 1977 MVP award validated all of the consistent hard work he had put in that season. Even the Twins didn't make it to the postseason. I'm thrilled, he said. The things I did during the '77 season were taken into consideration. I'm very happy it came out that way, he told the New York Times. Now, more greatness was to come as a 32-year-old first baseman with a finished career with a 328 career average and 3,053 hits, along with, get this, 18 all-star selections. The only thing I can do is go out and do the best I can, Carew told the Times. I'm just happy I won it. I finally did it. Now, looking at that '77 season, during the summer of that year, he also appeared on the cover of Time with the caption "Baseball's Best Hitter." He won his seventh and final batting title in '78, hitting 333. He had finished in the top 15 in the AL MVP voting in every season between 1972 and '78. Of course, he moved on to the Angels in a controversial mode because he felt that Calvin Griffith was a racist, and he was also frustrated by the Twins' lack of action to keep its young talent. Now, The only situation about Carew, which a lot of people don't really remember, the batting stance was not just the reason why he got so many hits, but he controlled the plate. A very, very Pete Rose, George Brett style player. If you made a mistake over the plate, he could hit. He had good power every once in a while. He would hit home runs if need be. But now the native the Panama Canal Zone, born October 1st, 45, again only 92 home runs, but 1,015 RBIs. Twins again, 67 to 78, and then with the Angels, 79 to 85. He was also a coach with the Angels for 7 years, and also with the Brewers in 2001. So just a recap here: 18-time All-Star, 67 to 84, inclusive. MVP 77, Rookie of the Year in 67, Roberto Clemente Award in 77, 7-time AL batting champion 69, 72 to 75 inclusive, 77 to 78. His number 29 for the Twins and the Angels is retired. One of the few players in major sports history to have his number retired by two teams. But of course, in the NHL, he retired 99, which I don't think is right, but that's just me because Montreal would never retire that number. He was a part of the Minnesota Twins Hall of Fame, and he's also part of the Angels Hall of Fame. Now, the induction in 91 came at the 90.5% of the first ballot. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rod Carew, again, one of the greatest players of all time. And when I hear Shohei Ohtani getting all that recognition, I know for a fact that the reason why he won and he's never made the postseason, because the influence of Rod Carew on allowing the media like us to look at the big numbers rather than the soft numbers puts it together. Thanks for listening. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.